love
on
at the end of that scene where like, they finish their first night and it's, they have the fights or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They throw people out. And I think there's a scene where like the guy has his girlfriend dance on the table and they tell him to get down. The guy whips out a fucking knife because everyone has a knife once again.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the night, they're like, the owner's like, it was a good night. Nobody died. And Patrick Swayze's like, it'll get worse before it gets better. I'm like, dude, it's a bar. You're not fucking fighting a war here. Jesus Christ. Like, what do you mean it's going to get worse? What's going to happen?
And why? There's no other place these people could go to.
Apparently not. I mean,
that's why they were definitely just doing like crack there. Because like, why are people going there if people are dying? Like,
yeah, it's like
that's
dying. Like,
did people die there before? Like, it's like, ooh, this was a good night.
Why is this place open?
No one died. No one died. Okay, so prior to Patrick Swayze getting there, how many people died in the bar nightly? Like, what was going on there? I guess
guys, you want to go grab some beers at the Double Deuce? We may get fucking stabbed in the throat, but I really feel like getting drunk tonight.
It's like, ooh, yeah. It's like you can't.
This movie was nominated for worst picture, worst director, worst screenplay, worst actor, and worst supporting actor. They didn't win any of them.
But I will say this, Manny. Once again, I'm going to tell you. Better Rotten Tomatoes rating than Cocktail. 35%.
Fuck you, I know this.
Really? Wow.
Cocktail got a 5%.
I would agree with that. I think this is a better film than Cocktail. That's just me.
You better watch your mouth.
That's just me. I mean, look, I'm not knocking you, Manny. You're allowed to have your opinion.
Basically the same fucking movie. Okay?
No,
except there's no knives.
Yeah, but I just Patrick Swayze, I can buy him. I just like him much better than Tom Cruise.
Really?
Yeah, not a big Tom Cruise fan.
Oof.
I think he's in some good movies. Don't get me wrong. I like Cocktail. I'm not saying I dislike it. I just like this better. I'm a big fan of really cheesy 80s movies, which this clearly.
So what do you feel about like Days of Thunder?
I'll be honest with you. I've never seen Days of Thunder. Yeah,
never
seen it. I remember everyone talking about it in like 4th grade, but I've never actually seen it.
That movie is cheesy as fuck, crazy, and then one of the best line is, "You guys look like a monkey fucking a football." It's just like, why is that a line that people say?
There were a bunch of people in the 80s that just did a bunch of coke and wrote terrible one-liners, and then they actually made their way into films.
See, that's what I mean. I really wish that like the 80s people, late 80s to 90s, people were just like, you want to make that movie? Fuck it, let's do it. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day, like how even that movie Short Circuit. So now,
oh my god!
Now that
great movie,
crazy.
Johnny Five.
It's garbage.
If you even think
it's total garbage.
We're gonna have a trash can.
Then they made 2 of them.
They made 2 of them. The second one was even worse.
It's great. It was in the city.
But the thing is, that
it turns to gold at the end.
You can't make that movie now. You can't make that movie.
Nope.
Or
you guys ever seen Batteries Not Included?
Oh yeah, with Jessica Tandy and the great film.
Yeah. Or like The Wizard. You can't make that movie now.
No. Oh, The Wizard?
No.
Was a terrible movie. If that movie has better ratings than Cocktail.
Or The Flight of the Navigator. That was the other one.
Billy, I get what you mean because like I understand like so Cocktail was cheesy, but it was like almost too serious.
It's still like a movie. Like this, I don't even look at Roadhouse as a movie. It's just like schlock, like whereas like I look at this in the same vein as for the same reasons I love Rocky IV. I love this movie because it's like pure 80s cheese.
Yeah.
Like like it's
I was thinking of Rocky IV.
It's fight scene after fight scene.
Exactly. I mean, it's not as much a music video like Rocky IV is, but still, it's like you don't take this movie seriously. Where Cocktail, you sit down and like there's a story they're trying to tell that's not ridiculous about a bouncer. Like it's like an actual story. And I still like it. It's just to me, this is like how people will watch like Food Network because it's mindless TV. This is like mindless for me. Like I could fucking throw this movie on at any time and it's just like background noise and entertains me and like makes me forget about whatever bullshit's going on. Like that's why I love 80s movies because that's that's what they do.
Yeah. You're right. It is like an action film in that every scene is like a new reason to put some sort of person getting hit or explosion or
ridiculous line. Yeah.
And then ridiculous line or let's get to the point where he gets stabbed and now he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
And this doctor who's supposed to be professional, who was the actress who was actually in Cocktail. She was married to
she was.
She was married to Coughlin, who it wasn't even supposed to be her, but it
was it Kelly Lynch is her name?
Yeah,
Kelly Lynch.
It was supposed to be oh God, what is her name? It doesn't matter. Annette Bening. It was supposed to be Annette Bening, actually. Which makes some sense to me. I have no
whatever. Idea. So most unprofessional doctor ever.
Totally.
Because it reminded me of Days of Thunder, because if you saw Days of Thunder, Bill, you didn't, but Tom Cruise has to go to the doctor after a big accident, Nicole Kidman, and she falls in love with him. And I'm like, these are the most unprofessional doctors in the world, mate. He's like, he goes in there one time. Like, I guess there's no other men there.
Jasper,
like,
Missouri, probably not.
She used to date the asshole, the rich guy.
No, there's no one that you could go out with if you're a woman.
She was just happy that he was a philosophy major.
Once again, thank God that was in his medical file, or she never would have known.
Yeah,
you know,
like
I don't know about you,
shows up with medical files.
I have my resume in my medical file just in case you need it. You know.
Yeah, I put like a snippet.
Well, this is before the internet, so this is the way. Yeah.
Well, didn't he get sent to the hospital from a stab wound because the guy that he fired comes back to murder him because he lost his job as a bartender?
Okay.
Which is a totally reasonable reaction.
That scene was amazing because that scene was so funny because there's a bouncer there that works there who his only role is to get the crap beat out of him. He comes in there and that fat guy just starts pounding on him, and then the other guy who's like half of what Patrick Swayze is comes in and starts beating up someone, but this guy pulls a knife out that I was like, where's that knife?
It's like that long.
It's like a bayonet. He's like pulled
it out. That shit from Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah,
he's like,
that's not a knife.
That's a knife. Yeah.
Someone needs a gun. There's like one gun in Jasper, and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of guns. But like, I was just like,
in the hunting room.
Yeah, like what is happening here? So he tries to kill him. He slashes him. That cut looked like his intestines should have fell out. Like, I mean,
it was just enough to soak his white shirt, though, Dan.
Yeah, just enough
to
soak his white shirt. His gi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the morning he went to that store, the auto. And one of my other favorite lines when he's talking to the guy in the auto shop, and he goes something about, "Well, how'd you get stuck here?" He's like, "Well, I married someone." He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "What'd he say?" He's like, "I got married
an ugly woman."
I mean, so the best part is like, so Patrick Swayze is always like, look, he seems to be like, he absorbs everything. So he's like watching what's going on at the auto shop. He's watching. He's talking to the doctor. He's kind of like whatever. He invites her to the show.
Why would you do that?
And like, she's the only second classy woman that shows up. Watches the fight, and like, she just is like, oh hey, like you're a doctor. Why are you falling?
What are you doing here? This guy is trash.
Literal. He's like a swindler. Like he's like going from town to town, like cleaning up bars.
People's money. Yeah.
Meanwhile, he calls his friend that's like at a
drug
strip
addict
club.
Working at a strip. I think he's working at the strip club, right?
But
he knows where to call him. I think it's a strip club. Yeah, because you see the woman on stage, and he pulls the guy down, and then a fight breaks out while he's talking to Dalton.
Can we just talk about what we're calling a strip club in this film? Because it looked like the Double Deuce before Patrick Swayze was there.
Oh, with naked chicks, yeah.
Yeah, where
and pool
chicks
tables
that wanted to take their shirts off got up on stage, and I'm like,
oh wait, that happens later in the film.
This is the most dangerous place for any woman. Like, this movie is dangerous for women. No woman should be in this film. Like, it's the most dangerous thing ever for a woman. Like, I was like, why would any woman want to go into this place? And then the only saving grace they have there is Sam Elliott, who looks like Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He looked wet and just like he wasn't moving fast.
He's always going like this with his hair.
Yeah.
And he was too, like, so he's like, and I don't even think he was that old when they made this movie, right? But they made him out like he was like old as shit. Well, how about this too? Every bar that you see in this film, there's people fighting. So imagine you're like 14 and you see this, you've never been in a bar. You're like, holy shit, dude, is this what happens in bars? People just get fucked up and beat the shit out of each other. every city. It doesn't matter where it is. People are just getting fights and pulling knives out.
And everybody apparently knows these two guys. Like,
Yeah.
they knew his buddy. They know his buddy.
Oh, that's Wade Garrett?
Yeah, Wade Garrett. I'm like, why does he have a full name?
Yeah.
Why are you saying his full name? As if like we're trading people in like baseball teams. Like,
Yeah. It's like oh, that's fucking Wyatt Earp, man. Like, holy shit, watch out. Like, yeah.
That guy could play Wyatt Earp. But like, it was so he calls him, but he didn't call him for help, but he kind of called him. So that guy just assumed that he needed help because he just shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah.
At the perfect time.
He called him at a laundromat.
Yeah, what was up with that? He's like, you all right?
I can't stop laughing because it's just like this movie's so fucking stupid.
It really is.
Why was he at a laundromat? Oh, because he doesn't have the phone. Oh, wait, we skipped over that.